What is up, Janksters? It's your boy Graham, also known as HamHawks42 on the internet, and today we are looking at a fun deck that my buddy Meatpants challenged me to build on stream a few days ago. That is actually, it's an interesting combination. Now, you may be thinking, wait a minute, this looks like an Orzhov Sacrifice deck, and you'd be correct. It is. And I know what you're thinking. Orzhov Sacrifice in Standard? How novel. Well, okay, there is a twist to this one. This isn't your garden variety sacrifice deck. So we do have the standard staples, but the main key that this deck is built around is a combination with Maskwood Nexus, which is a wonderful combo piece that we know and love, that creates a situation where all of our creature cards and all of our creatures and all of our cards are all creature types, which is great, including angels. And then we're also going to be throwing in Rampage of the Valkyries, which says when it enters the battlefield, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Great for 5 mana, so we get a decent body for 5 mana, but the real reason it's in the deck is whenever an angel you control dies, each other player sacrifices a creature. So if our Shambling Ghast and Eyetwitches or even Dockside Chef in a pinch become angels, all of a sudden we're sacrificing them for crazy good value, and in the process, edicting our opponent and whittling away their board. So against mid-range decks that have a lot of creatures, which is not uncommon right now, the goal is to get an engine running where we're sacrificing our things, and it ultimately becomes a war of attrition where in the end we're going to beat them to death with a couple of angels. We don't need a ton because we're going to be minimizing the amount of stuff they can put on the board. So like I said, we have a number of 1-drops that can be sacrificed in Dockside Chef, Eyetwitch, and Shambling Ghast. All provide different values, and we do have some lessons in the sideboard for the Eyetwitch rather. We have 4 Deadly Disputes because this is the best sack outlet that exists in Standard right now. The card's amazing. Draw 2 cards and a treasure token. Let's go. You love to see it. We also have 3 Rites of Oblivion in here, where you sacrifice a non-land permanent and exile a target non-land permanent, and it has flashbacks. You can do this twice if you've got sack fodder lying around. The card is nothing short of amazing. It's just a great piece of removal that is also a great sack outlet for 2 mana and 4 mana flashback. You love to see it. We have 2 Meathook Massacres. This is a potential win con, and it also helps deal with pesky aggro decks. I mean, the card's like $60 right now for a reason. It's absolutely fantastic. If you're running black and standard, it's kind of an auto include. To be honest, the commitment to the jank factor of this deck is limiting us to only 2 of them. But to be honest, we could run 4 in here and it wouldn't be bad. So Meathook Massacre is Meathook Massacre. If you've been playing standard in the last, I don't know, since Midnight Hunt dropped, you know what Meathook Massacre. We also have 3 Fellstingers for a couple of reasons. Fellstinger is really cool in that it produces a 3/2 death touching body, and it's a sacrifice outlet that draws cards. So it's a body we can sacrifice later to get the Valkyrie, the Rampage trigger. And it's also a great opportunity to sacrifice something in the early game, potentially get a, well, if in the early game, we're not going to get a Rampage trigger, but draw some cards in addition to whatever value from the creature we sacrificed. Life is good. We also have Morbid Opportunist in here because it draws us cards. And it's also a body we can sacrifice. Again, there's a theme. You'll notice we have a lot of bodies that we can sacrifice later for value, as well as things that trigger off that. So Morbid Opportunist is going to be drawing his cards. So as you can imagine, we drop a 1-drop. You know, we Deadly Dispute it, and then on the next turn we have 5 mana lying around. We can even drop another 1-drop, Fell Sting it, draw a bunch of cards. Like, yeah, you know, you've seen the lines. They're all very good. If we get a Morbid Opportunist online before we start sacrificing things, we're just going to be drawing additional cards. Lovely stuff. It's just great. We do have Maskwood Nexus, as previously mentioned. Great combo piece. Legion Angel is our other 4-drop, which is a 4/3 flyer for 4. When it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a card you own named Legion Angel from outside the game and put it into your hand. Now, this is a one of because we have 3 in the sideboard, because we want, if we hit it, we want to be drawing more of them. And the cool thing about Legion Angel in this list specifically is that, well, one, it's just a good value card. But with it being naturally an angel, if we don't get the Maskwood Nexus online and we do hit a Rampage of the Valkyries, it dying will trigger that and produce some cool effects for us. So, and it's just 4 power in the air that draws us more power in the air, which is exactly what we want to see. So Legion Angel is actually one of our win cons, which is, it's nice when it works out. Rampage of the Valkyries, it's our main combo piece. It also is 4 power in the air. You love to see it. Liesa, Forgotten Archangel. This is 2 white, black for a 4/5 flying lifelinker that has some text on it that a lot of people forget about because the card hasn't seen a lot of play outside of Midnight Hunt Limited. And I'm not exactly sure why, because it's a very strong card. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. And if a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. So this does a couple of things. it shuts off our opponent's death triggers. So if they get a Meathook Massacre down and we get a Meathook Massacre down, ours counts, theirs doesn't. Awesome. You love it. I mean, we don't get the life gain triggers from their stuff dying, but, well, and they still get... Anyway, it's nice. I like it. I like it a lot. I like shutting off our opponent's death triggers because if they're trying to get value off their creatures dying, they just don't, which is really cool. It's nice. I like it. The other thing, they won't be able to drain us with their Meathook Massacre is really what it comes down to, and that's nice. And if we're sacrificing things like Eyetwitch and Shambling Ghast in the late game for value, they bounce back to our hand and we can recast them the next turn. So we can loop them with Liesa, which is great. It's exactly what we want to do. Now, it is a 2-of because it is a 5-drop. You know, we have a lot of low to the ground stuff, and we don't want to have too many 5-drops, so it's a 2-of. We also have 2 Emeria's Call. This creates 2 angels and also gives non-angel creatures indestructible until end of turn. That non-angel creature indestructible thing is kind of irrelevant, but it is just 4/4 angels for 7. Now, 7 is a lot of mana, but getting 8 power with flying on the field for 7 is definitely worth it, and they're both angels, so again, if we don't have Maskwood Nexus down, we still get some tribal benefits. And worst case scenario, it's a land. You'll love to see it. Notable lands, we do have 2 Eiganjo, 2 Takenuma, because those both have relevant effects. One in being able to remove our opponent's creatures, and the other in being able to fill our hand. We're not necessarily leveraging the graveyard here, so we don't really, with the exception of Rite of Oblivion's flashback, we're not really taking advantage of the graveyard, so we don't really care about the mill, but it effectively draws us a card. So it draws us a card. So that's nice. A creature card specifically. So that's kind of cool. And it can recur something out of our graveyard. It can be an expensive raise dead effect, which is not bad. Sometimes it's exactly what you need. We also have Great Hall of Starnheim. When it enters the battlefield, it enters the battlefield tapped. It can add 1 black, or you can pay white, black, tap, sacrifice Great Hall of Starnheim and a creature you control, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. I activate only as a sorcery. So this actually works out beautifully with Rampage of the Valkyries, especially if we have the Maskwood Nexus down, because we're able to sacrifice a small creature, get the Rampage trigger, and then create an angel that we can use to beat face, and then potentially get the Rampage trigger if it dies. So that's what we're trying to do with the deck. The whole goal is get these death trigger loops and ultimately burn our opponent out with that stuff. Oh, Liesa also having lifelink is very relevant. So if we're going up against aggro and they're able to dwindle our life total in the early game, being able to rebuild it is very, very, it can be clutch. So Liesa is nothing short of awesome. I'm a big fan of that card. So here we go. We also have Dockside Chef. It's a 1-drop, which we're ultimately going to be sacrificing to a lot of other stuff in a lot of situations, but it itself is also a sacrifice outlet, so that's meaningful too. So that's the deck. I call it the Maskwood Rampage because it is ultimately built around the Maskwood Nexus Rampage of the Valkyrie combo. We really want to get that online and then do a bunch of sack loops to just force our opponent to sacrifice their whole board. That's really what we're trying to do here. And, I've played it a few times and it does tend to pop off, and it feels pretty good. And worst case scenario, at the end of the day, if you get a Meathook Massacre down with a Rite of Oblivion and a couple of little critters, that's enough to win the game in a lot of situations right now. It's just powerful. So let's run this out into the ladder, see what we can do with it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference. I would appreciate it very, very much. If you have any other crazy combos that you'd like to see in decks like this, or if you've been following my deep dives on the new Capenna spoilers and you'd like to see specific cards of those, please leave those in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much. Let's get to the gameplay. And yeah, and if you don't want to stick around for the gameplay, I completely understand. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching the Deck Tech. And if not, if you are wanting to stick around for the gameplay, here we go. Well, I like Meathook, I like Felstinger, I like Maskwood Nexus. I don't like the lack of a black mana source, so we just can't keep this. So let's go ahead and hit the maul. This is looking so much better. Shambling Ghast and a Deadly Dispute equals profit. We're going to keep this. I'm going to let the Felstinger go, because let's be honest, we're going to shamble into Dispute. That's really what we want to do. Felstinger is nice. I like it. Rampage. I'll take that. I will absolutely take that all day, day. So we have a combo in hand now. We have Maskwood Rampage, and it looks like we're going up against mono white aggro, which is not a bad place to be, frankly. If they attack here, I might actually block. Yeah, I think I do. I want to get that 2 power off the board. This is going to create a treasure token. We're not going to be able to Deadly Dispute next turn. We can throw the Great Hall of Starnheim and call it a day and be just fine. Do we want to create the treasure token? Nah, I want to get rid of their turn. I want to have my 1-drop completely eradicate all their hard work. That's what I want to do. All right, Starnheim's going to enter tapped. So we don't have the Deadly Dispute, which does another Usher. That's kind of annoying. I'm not going to lie. Except for the kind of part. That's like hella annoying. All right. We're going to throw the Dockside Chef, or as I like to call him, the Dockside Chief. And we got Deadly Dispute back. So you may be asking, why in the world do I call him the Dockside Chief? Because I think it's funny. That's why. And if you got a problem with that, well, I'm sorry. Except not really. All right. We're going to block here. We shall have a Deadly Dispute. So there, Usher the Fallen survives, but we are going to draw 2 cards, create a treasure token. And next turn, because we created that treasure token, we can throw the Rampage. We can also throw Meathook here, but we can save that for next turn and be just fine. Rampage is just sweet. Let's make him have some removal. That said, they might. They might have March of the Worldly Light. They'd have to mortgage some cards to take advantage of it. Brutal Cathar going after this homie is definitely a problem. I don't like that. We will be able to meet her for 2 and just completely eradicate their board next turn. So yeah, it's not the end of the world. We'll be fine. This can come down as a land. We don't have to tap it. We don't have to untap it, I should say. We're going to hook the meat for 2. Say bye-bye to your board, homie. We got some triggers. Because again, it's crazy, but it turns out Meathook Massacre wins games. It's a very good card, especially against Mono White Weenie. See how they follow this up. They have the Cave of the Frost Dragon, but they don't have the mana to activate it yet. Valkyria, that's actually a fine choice. Fine choice. Good thing it doesn't touch life loss, or it doesn't interact with life loss. We got the twitchy eyes. I'm gonna throw out the Maskwood Nexus here, so now we have the Maskwood Rampage combo going. If they throw out any creatures, we can Fell Sting our Eyetwitch for profit. All kinds of profit. Thalia, what up, dog? That's a very good card, and one that I don't want to see anymore. Skyclave Apparition going after Eyetwitch. That sucks. I don't like that. We can. They're going after Maskwood. No. All right, that sucks. That sucks big time. That was very bad for us. All right, we're gonna Fell Sting the Eyetwitch because of Valkyria. There's no point in us swinging. Trigger. Pest Summoning gives us more bodies, which is pretty rad. I do like that. Mascot Exhibition gives us more bodies at a better rate, though. Gives us bigger, badder bodies. And who doesn't want bigger, badder bodies? Am I right? Losing the Maskwood sucks. That actually was a really bad hit. I was thinking they were going to go after my critters, but they didn't. They did not, and that is problematic. Brutal Cathar probably going after Fellstinger. Yep. And they swing. We're going to block here. We're probably going to grab, I'm thinking, Pest Summoning to get us a couple bodies on board. The other option was Environmental Sciences to gain us some life. Would have been acceptable, but not great. Another Meathook actually is not bad. And by not bad, I mean exactly what we want. So yeah, let's do that. Doesn't matter which one we keep. All their stuff goes bye-bye. We get some tokens and some triggers. Ching, 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 ching. Do I want to? Yeah, I want to. I'm actually going to sacrifice itself. I'm going to keep the 4/4 chilling. Chilling and or chilling. All right, cool. Pest Summoning it is. Let's go. All right. We need to get our hands on another Maskwood. Is really what we need. Sure, I got a 4/4 dog. It's just fine. Thalia again. My goodness, she just will not stay away. Which is understandable, but it's not fun. I don't like that. All right. Get them twitchy eyes going. I'm a Fell Sting, so twitchy eyes. So we get some triggers. Love me some triggers. Give me those triggers. I'm feeling very triggered right now, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's grab an intro so we can get rid of Valkyria. Doesn't really matter how we play this out. We are keeping a Eiganjo back, which feels pretty nice. I'm going to swing it with the 4/4. And again, we got a Eiganjo back, so... And it's a channel ability, so notably Thalia will not touch that, which feels pretty nice. Pretty nice. All right, I'm feeling pretty good. And they top deck the land. They have the Cave of the Frost Dragon. We have an Eyetwitch to block it. We'll be okay. Yeah, let's see. So they are going for it. They're going to drop the 3/4 here, which is fine. They're going to swing in. We're going to Eiganjo. Pew! And we have the 1 to spend. Oh, I forgot about the shields effects. I punted there. Somebody punt me. Somebody in chat punt me. All right. We got the environmental sciences. Let's get rid of that shield. That thing's freaking annoying. All right. I really dislike that. Actually, no. I'll be honest. I freaking love that card. I think it's great. It's annoying to play against. We're going to turn a pest into a 4/4 angle. That's right, I said it. 4/4 angle. We're going to swing with the 4/4. Boom. Getting in for some damage. You'll love to see it. And environmental sciences draws us some cards. Great Hall of Starnheim coming in handy there. That angel is exactly what we needed, and our opponent scoops it up. Let's go. On to the next game. All right, so we have the Dockside Chef on 1. We could even save some mana for Takenuma. We don't have the second white pip for Legion Angel, which is a little bit of a bummer, but there's a good chance we'll draw into it, so I'm not too worried about that. Getting the chef down early is going to be handy. That 2 toughness could be relevant, so let's give it a go, see what we can do. Also, I'm really digging the Gargoyle from New Capenna. I gotta say, great pet, big fan. All right, Dockside Chief. Into 1 red, they might play with fire all over our 1-drop, which would feel bad. Feel real bad. Ogre Head Helm, eh? Alright, okay, alright, okay, alright, okay. I'm gonna play the Dockside Chief out. That way, if they decide to swing with the Ogre Head Helm, we can double block. Then we'd only lose 1 of them, which is kind of fine. To be honest, I doubt they'll swing, but I don't know. We'll see. I can also just choose to take it, because it is 2 damage. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it if you do discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. Now, filling your hand with 3 fresh cards can be very, very powerful, but this early in the game, probably not so much. Because they've got 4 cards in hand, so do you want to lose? I mean, possibly play 1 out. Igneous Inspiration, all right. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely not blocking now. I'll just take the 2, that's fine. If they want to discard 4 cards and draw 3, if they want to go down a card, I'm going to let them. Go down a card and a creature. That would be fantastic for me. And of course, I'm like, surprise, surprise. They choose not to. It's crazy, right? All right. No tax. Hold the chief back. It can outblock and activate itself, which is kind of cool. It can activate, sacrifice itself to draw a card. So we can cycle our Dockside Chef out of play, which is kind of fun. But they got the Ogre Helm. They also have the Down to the Bugbear. We need to not forget about that. And by we, I mean I need to not forget that's there, because that could be a problem later. Yeah, they're 1 mana away from activating it. Or being able to activate it, I should say. And the environmental sciences can make sure they pull it into their hand. Chandra, just to kill. Good card. Good card in a mono red deck. Not really great everywhere else, but definitely good card in a mono red deck. They're not going to activate it right away. All right, okay, all right, okay, all right, okay. I am going to block here. And the chief is I'm gonna sacrifice the chef to himself. Also, between the chef and the extortionist, man, there's a lot of weird stuff happening at the dockside. Just throwing that out there. That said, I gotta be honest, like, when the extortionist was really the only game in town chilling at the dockside, I was like, I'm definitely not going there. I do not want to tangle with that little guy. But Dockside Chef, like, looking at that bowl, like that ramen bowl, that looks delicious. I'd be down. I'd be down to hang out with the Dockside Chef. Yeah, I gotta say, like, I mean, and he looks like he's a hardworking guy who also knows how to party. That's the vibe I'm getting from the Dockside Chef. All right, Envirosciences, sure. Morbid Opportunist is delicious. I like that card. That's right, I said it. Delicious. I stand by it. I don't think that's awkward. You're awkward. All right, we're gonna shock this in so we can hit the Legion Angel. Boop, 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 boop. Draw into another Legion Angel naturally, like you do. All right, so now if they attack, I mean, they could activate the Bugbear and swing in. If they do, I'm going to block the Bugbear, and if they can crack the Ogre Head Helm to get a fresh 3, which is not the end of the world. But the Den of the Bugbear is immune to the Meathook Massacre, so if they give me a shot to kill it, I'm going to. Yeah, they do just choose to swing with everything. The little 1/1's getting through. Den of the Bugbear is going bye-bye. And we're gonna just Meathook next turn. We can also drop a fresh Legion Angel, which couldn't, it's not the worst. And Chandra pings us here, which doesn't feel great. My face. And Spike feel our face, which is definitely telegraphing to me that they want to sacrifice the helm next turn. Meathook, the hook of meat. We're gonna gain a little bit of life. More importantly, we're gonna eradicate their board and their main card draw engine. That feels good. Feels real good, not gonna lie. They're still 2 turns away from ulting Chandra, which is nice. Definitely want to avoid that if we can help it. Bloodthirsty Adversary, this could be a problem for us. That's a sizable Chungus coming in. I don't like when my opponents have sizable Chungai. And Igneous Inspiration pulled out of the yard is actually quite good. Expanded Anatomy is potentially a big problem. This is a cool red deck, and they actually did a great job of, I mean, their sequencing has actually been quite excellent. Definitely got to give them props for that. All right, Morbid Opportunist, followed by Morbid Opportunist. Morbid Opportuni. Yeah, let's go with that. Does it make sense? No. Do I stand by it? Yeah, let's go. So one of the opportunists here is going to hit the bricks really hard in the face, frankly, if they attack with Bloodthirsty Adversary, which they kind of don't have a reason not to, except unless they want to deny me card draw, which would be fair. But yeah, they're going to expand an Anatomy of the Adversary. Bump it up. And they're going to get an Ogre-headed Helm. That was a good draw off of Chandra. Quite good, if I may say. One Morbid Opportunity hits the bricks. We draw 1 card, get a Meathook ping. Liesa might actually be exactly what we needed. Exactly what we needed. Did I mention exactly what we needed? The life gain on Liesa is big time. Big time. All right. I mean, they can also ult Chandra here, which might just be enough to kill us regardless of what we do. But Liesa's lifelink, I think, is going to be relevant here. They need to kill us outside of combat. If they attack into that, we're going to be fine. Which they might be able to do. So, Chandra's ult says, exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may cast red spells from among them this turn. You get an emblem. Whenever you cast a red spell, this emblem deals X damage to any target, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. And they have 6 mana lying in wait here. 7 mana lying in wait here. So, yeah, no, you just rip that. We're only at 4. Yeah, they got it. They got enough here. They could just... Yeah, they Reckless Storm Seagull 3 to the face. And then they just play with fire, and then the play with fire or Kumano faces Kakazan, neither would even resolve before the Chandra ult kills this. Yeah, that was a good game. That was a good game. In the end, they got there, but they sequenced it really, really well. They played a good game. All right, let's move on to game. Let's move on to the next game, everybody. I see Meathook Massacre, Shambling Ghast, Dockside Chef, and Rite of Oblivion in the opening hand. We only have 2 lands here, which kind of stinks, but we're on the draw. I'm going to hit Shambling Ghast into a Rite of Oblivion. That's just going to keep to me. So that's going to get us a treasure token, worst case scenario. Deadly Dispute's even better. Even better. Let's go. Yeah, we're going to be fine. Our opponent's on Golgari. Gonna swing in for 1 because we can. Chip in for a little bit of damage. Always delightful. Yeah, we are definitely going to Deadly Dispute that Ghast and create a whole mess of treasures. And hopefully draw into some lands. That would all be good things. They're just holding their mana up. No 3-drop. Ooh, interesting. Okay, all right. They're in Golgari, so I know they're going to counter. They're not going to counter this. Create a treasure token. Draw in some cards. Another Deadly Dispute. Still no lands. Goodness. I'm actually going to Deadly Dispute one of these treasures. Come on, show me some land. This is one of the worst floods I've seen in a very long time. This is epic, frankly. All right. Okay. I'm going to play these out. Just so we don't have to discard. We do lose the treasures, which is mildly problematic, but we've got a board established. Now, if they're teeing up for a Meathook on 4, I'm going to be sad. Yeah, if they hit a Meathook where X equals 2, I'm going to be, yuck. I'm sad. Cold Comfort, our Eyetwitch does get to give us environmental sciences, which can help us get out of this violent land screw situation. Great Hall of Starnheim, that's acceptable. Not amazing, but acceptable. All right. Steinharm's a black one, so we need that. Okay, cool. Groovy, hip, muy bueno. Legion Angel actually clutch here. That could go a long way. I'm gonna discard the Rite of Oblivion because we can flash it back. All right. So we got violently mana screwed, like really awfully mana screwed at the beginning of this game, and things are coming around our way. Okay, all right, okay. That's not nothing. I'll take it. Let's get the Maskwood Nexus down. And we get a blood token, which is fine. We're gonna take some damage here, but that's okay. Just 6. Just 6. No big deal. We'll be able to sacrifice a blood token to the Rite of Oblivion to get rid of the Purveyor. Or we just jam Rampage. Invoke Despair, that hurts. I don't like that. Don't like that. Rampage. Yeah, give me another blood token. Sounds good. We got a little homie. We're just gonna kill their Blood Vial Purveyor now. Yeah, Invoke Despair is a hell of a card. No question about it. Looks like they're wondering what happened. That would be the Rampage of the Valkyrie. You've got twitchy eyes. Is there a Morbid Opportunist here? Do we Dockside Chef or do we Meathook for 1? That's really the question. I think we Meathook for 1. That's going to draw us a card, get a Meathook online, get rid of their Eyetwitch. So now we have dueling Meathooks. And Morbid Opportunist triggers. You grab a Containment Breach, sure. Going after Meathooks. Alright, I'm going after the hook. Sure, fair enough. Twill be alright. Alright? Alright. Rampage. Casually gives us 4/4. Pretty happy about that. And we're also going to start Shambling. I'll hold back my 1/3. Could have chipped in for damage there. They could have just blocked it and gained a life and ping us for 1. They're drawing us cards though, and just because they're doing the thing, which is nice. So we've got okay. We've kind of set up here. We need to get rid of that Meathook with the Rite of Oblivion post haste. I've been more focused on setting up a board than worrying about that. The amount of cards they've drawn off Invoke Despair is also a huge problem. Huge problem. Cannot stress that enough. Get rid of the Morbid Opportunist. That's our card draw engine. Mildly problematic. Not the end of the world, though. Bind of the Old Gods is a great card. No, that card slaps. It's a great answer to a lot of stuff. They're going to bind another thing. Okay. Going after the Rampage. This is the second Rampage we've had to say goodbye to. That's a bummer. Bummer and a half, let me tell you. We can hit this and still have 3 mana up. Second blood token, get rid of the Meathook. Which is good. That Meathook is definitely a problem for us. Big O problem. Let's get the Dockside Chef going. Let's chip in for some damage. We finally stabilized the board, it seems. If they just rip another Invoke Despair, I'm going to be very sad. They've already ripped 2 this game. I have no doubt they're running 4. No doubt whatsoever. More Woodland Chasms coming in. Sure, sure. Because you got the binding, so you might as well run them. Makes sense. Makes darn good sense. Not a big fan of that, but I'm glad their Meathook's gone. Really glad their Meathook's gone. That would have been huge. Blood Vial Purveyor comes back, sure. Great mascot. I like having a lot of bodies. I'm going to Rite of Oblivion that Blood Vial Purveyor, sacrificing the blood token, because, let's be honest, we really weren't going to use it for much anyway. And we get a fresh one! Neat, thanks, buddy. Thanks for the blood token, appreciate that. Alright, Legion Angel, do your thing. I believe in you. You're up. Grabbing fresh Legion Angel. We're also going to throw the Shambling Ghast here because treasure tokens are nice. I like them very much. So this is definitely Golgari control that we're going up against right now, and we're still stabilized. Things are okay, but we are at 6, which is a problem. 6 life is definitely not where we want to be. Like, not at all. All their creatures get Death Touch. Oh no, whatever shall we do? I'm also noticing a lack of creature lands on our opponent's part, which is great, because I have the Eye Tyrant beaten down right now would really suck. A Loth the Spider Queen would also really suck. Alright. Asika's Chariot would also really suck. Did I mention that? Let's just rip 2 of the best bombs in green and black right off the top. Yep, alright, sure. I mean, actually, they drew a ton of cards. So I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Felstinger's interesting here. I don't hate it. Don't love it, but I don't hate it. I think we need to Rite of Oblivion the Chariot because that is going to get out of hand. So let's just rip this sucker now. Made a blood token. Appreciate you, but your time has come. Poof. Get it gone. We also just need to put more bodies on board at this point. So I'm going to throw out the other Legion Angel. We're going to draw yet another Legion Angel. And I can't afford to attack here because of our life total. So we just got to hold off, and Ulth's just going to draw him cards, which I don't love, but is what it is. So our opponent did a good job of mitigating our main threats in Rampage. They also hit us with 2 Invoke Despairs pretty early and 2 Bindings. I mean, they've hit some great cards. There's no question about it. Yeah, and I think this spells our doom. Yep, this is it. That's all she wrote. That's 6 damage. Fart. Yeah, our opponent had some great draws, and we weren't unable to set up enough of an assault early enough to make it happen, but it's all good. These things happen. It was a fun game, fun deck. I like this deck very, very much. And so if you've also enjoyed this deck, please go ahead and like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. I'd appreciate that very, very much. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning into the video and watching till the end. It means the world. I really appreciate it. So if you enjoyed decks like this, please like and subscribe, like I said. If you also want to see me pilot some meta decks, I do a lot of collaborations with the Pizza Box MTG. There's going to be a link in the description, as well as a link that's going to appear, if it's not already here, actually, on the screen in just a moment. Please feel free to click on that to see me play the Selesnya tokens list that actually went pretty far in a recent standard tournament. So please check that out. Appreciate you, and I'll catch you on the next one.